Screen, my full screen. That looks. Thank you. Of course, thank you. I thank you. Yes, so now I do this. Does this, oh, did I share? No, audio. Audio is important, it's critical. Audio is like 90% of this thing. 90% is audio, it's just me talking. Okay, now that's out of the way. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this is great. This is wonderful. I'm obviously happy to be here. So, I'm not going to talk about that. Let's talk about my life. Sort of in sequence, is the light? The light is too much. Yeah, the light is way too much. A little bit, but now we miss it. A little bit of light. Okay, great. Yeah, so it's the Cambrian explosion. You've seen this movie where they go.
It's the Cambrian explosion.
You should watch it. It's really funny. And then I was born. There's also a YouTube playlist for that. This is crazy. I cannot recommend more the calm. So this is called sweet. This is what you want when the birth is happening, and then. You'd think, well, the baby will arrive. Certainly, the Calm Pregnancy Music Academy will have something for that, but no, still this that's not how I want. Yeah, I love it so. The destiny awaits. Still, so bad. Yeah, terrible. Just, I would never want, and Daddy and New Son. Looking forward to that one. No, not this droney, terrible. Then I get access to the internet. We'll come back to this. I leave home, I travel, I grow. I seek a new home, disco's invented. I find a home, and then I die in a way that's unpredictable. What are we even doing here? Well, maybe you've heard disco is about hosting websites. You might be curious. That's great. You might already host a website. That's fine. You can still be curious about these things. If you want to be entertained, no curiosity required. So really, really quickly, I'm going to talk about, I made websites, and it'll be mostly about that. We might launch some things. We'll see if it works. And then we'll dive into Disco itself, the tool, and point out Antoine. I wish I had a laser pointer for you, but it would be so rude. Antoine. Yay. Okay, and that's it. So that's Antoine. Okay, great. My early days. Okay, now the light is distracting. Will we miss it if I remove it? Will we go? It's okay, yes, exactly. Thank you so much. This is PHP, which I really learned from the Wikipedia page, at least, that it meant personal homepage, which, wow, it's great. And the reason I remember very well falling in love with PHP as a concept before using it, and then loving it while using it, and then using it for a bunch of years. And the story there is that even this demo feels like a little bit longer than what I remember seeing. The demo that I saw had this line, this singular line called mail. And it just sent an email, and it absolutely worked. It absolutely worked. You could make a web page that was going to be live on the internet forever. And for people who know PHP, well, you don't need my explanation. But for people who don't know PHP, this is it's kind of HTML, right? It's kind of HTML. The bottom part is definitely HTML. It's just like a form. It's just got some inputs. You could put this in the web browser and see a form. But the top bit was going to run on the server and send an email. And I was really enthralled how easy that was. And then the second thing that happened was I got kind of lucky in at least one weird way. in that not only Quebec, where I come from, has like a lot of cheap hydroelectricity, but I also somehow ended up with this computer, the Power Mac, was running an extremely arcane, bizarre Linux distribution called Yellow Dog Linux, which this is Yap a thing? I know Yap like people like I do, but is Yapt? Does anybody know Yapt? Yeah, Yum. You know Yum. Okay, so Yum, yeah. So you can see, you can calculate the number of people here, and divide the woos by the non-woos. So Yum came from that, and then I had but I had a DSL connection, and I had a static IP address, and I had, of course, 1 megabit if it doesn't matter. But I had a little bit of internet to myself, and a little bit of a static thing, and a little computer in my room, and it was always on, and that was the year 2002. And so I had a place where I could put those PHP files, and they would live on that computer, and I would be on the internet. Because back then, of course, people did it in a million ways, but you sort of roughly had to have, this very hardcore experience of data centers and computers and servers, which I just didn't have. And could you just imagine that as a child, to be in a data center? A shocking development, if one ever was. All right, so here's my claim to fame from back then. UFOmaps.com was a cool website that I did. And so if you know RCTV, which I also worked on, one of the things that is on RCTV is this site called, I think if you just, probably this will work. It's like Norfolk or Fernurk. What is their name? It's not a CNN, it's not Guardian. We can look at it in RCTV. Is it like UFO? Yeah, there you go, Newfork, yeah. The Newfork, still to this day, is just a list of UFO sightings with date. And it's like, of course, always, because UFOs. And so, but all of them, still to this day, have no map. And so that was a very first early scraping project, just like taking those things and putting a nice icon and making up UFOmaps.com. I also ran and wrote the code for the NORAD Center Tracker for 2 years, where it's like the official tracker of NORAD, the people with the red button. And it's gloomy, don't think about it too much. And then, and I worked on this, which is, of course, the extremely not recent movie, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Is it
Hi.
Brandon?
I'm Brendan Fraser.
Exactly, Brendan Fraser, yeah, thanks.
And I'm Josh Hutcherson.
Literally. Yeah, so this is also one, an original movie where the quality is 240, that was it. And it's 16 years ago, and I still get views. I don't get money, don't worry. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, so Google had widgets, and we worked on that. It was all PHP, was great. And then this has too many words on this slide, but it's really just trying to tell you that it was complicated. You needed to do stuff manually. These images exist for that. This is Jake, this is you. This is you today being in the subway, right? Please offer a seat. And seeing a server crash or some sort of computer because it didn't have enough space left. So it just keeps writing no space left on device. And Jake was like, I gotta fix it. I'm sure you could. But it's a thing that we needed to think about, right? And this is the website of my parents' Russian studies program that I also did in 2002. And it has a funny montage of this thing on the red Quebec. So yeah, so it felt punk. It felt punk. It felt empowering. You had the server once, and that's why I actually send my emails Gigi. If you ever get an email from me, I say Gigi. I am really, literally in my head, I'm Gigi Allen, but I am not. Okay. Yeah. So this, yeah. So I really like websites. I just have a thing for them. I really, it's hard to admit. You don't go to parties and try to look cool in New York City of all the cities. If you think that, people will be like, what's wrong? It's just it's a website, man. It's just, But no, I adore websitery. And I had the idea, let me show them some websites. It's an absurd, who could ever? So here's some websites. Here's some websites that I love. This is a website with a list of public pianos, and this is from Zach, a Recursor, who's amazing and also does incredible instruments, and is just a magical person everybody here is. Just a map, it's incredible. This is a thing to meditate. You don't have to do it. We're not going to do that. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. By my friend Rafal. This page, who has seen this page? And thank you so much. May I force one web page on everyone? Of course, no. The answer is no, because I can't force you. But please check it out. It goes oh so slowly, oh so absolutely hand gently. You feel tutored by God in understanding time and distances. And it's just at every step you're like, yeah, you're humming along. It's absolutely, what is it? It's a quiet, so it's a preach. What is the sort of like, you're standing in, yeah, it's a sermon, exactly. It's sort of like a sermon, and it's just all these things. And at some point, like, of course, it's 2D and 3D, and at some point, you go into space, you talk about gravity. None of this is boring. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's a world. It's a work of art. It's so much craft went into that. This thing, okay, I'm not going to use my time wisely here. I'm just going to show you the best things on the internet. Let's do this. I'm going to download an MP3 file. Okay. Yeah, these are my bank statements. Okay, yeah, cool. Great. Okay, great. Okay, so that's this. Then I can do this. This is from a recursor, Julie. I hope to God I don't open bank statement here. Okay, great. And so then what do you do when you need a... Oh, yeah, there's a shortcut. There's a shortcut. If with option, you don't need to... Wait, there you go. Okay, that's great. Yeah, you don't know that, right? Okay, cool. Okay, great. And so then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then you burn it. It's so beautiful. And then I think did it download it? Yeah, it did. Okay. So now you get this. You get this. But it's 3 megs. Does the PNG spec? Yes, it does. And then none of this, this. And then you go back, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. Love. It's love of life. Something about this is so gorgeous. Just like yes. So this is a thing that also Zach, who did the pianos, he made a digital experience musical. It's going to start in a second. It's just fun. You don't have to like it. You can do this too, which makes music. This was all part of a competition that we did called Wham Bam Jam that we run here, which was just people making weird web instruments. This is one, Ben. Please tell the nice people that you're here. You're here. This is an instrument where you play the 3D buildings with your hand. And so as you move around, right, like Lower Manhattan, it takes time. It's like a theremin. It's just very, very, I think if I zoom in, yeah, there you go. Yeah, we heard it. That's a web page. This is a web page that tells you the time, but also finds a Google Maps Street View thing with the same hour. God damn! This thing is just so beautiful. It's just, what? Isn't it creative and just craft and just like a tiny little thing? Just makes you wanna. And then this, of course, classic. We all know this one. Just move your cursor around and people are just pointing to you. That's pointerpointer.com. This is Josh, who made the same here at Recurse. You click and there's a ship wherever you click. That's also open source and just beautiful, gorgeous. Just Nolan's here. Do we even need to? We know what 1 million checkboxes is, but it's a web project. He just made a web project, just a web thing, just a little web thing. He just made a web thing. This is it's like a funeral home for restaurants. So when the restaurant closes, I put like the picture of food in black and white so it looks awful. Let me give you an example. There you go. And then, when the person's dead, and then, and then everybody's always like, oh, my grandma, told me her password here, blah, blah, blah. Just beautiful memories. This is a website. This is going to be, again, more noise. This is like a looper. This is thousands of YouTube 1-second clips, and then you can loop them. And then you take the URL, then you go back, and you're like, that was a great jam. You can share this. It's a website. I'm not going to talk about this one. This one I love because it's mine. This is a cultural event calendar called NYC Noise, made by Jessica and like 10 recursors who all worked to move her away from WordPress, where she was being constantly hacked. And this is now like really fast and great. And we didn't get here. That's the part of my presentation. That's where I am. I can get to the next slide now. So what is a website? I don't know. It might be like a thing you launch into the space. It might be like one of those that just orbits the Earth and is. This is a different thing that says the exact same thing. I just like how it looks. Give me a second, because the other one is more like the orbits. Look at this. All of them just floating around. Doesn't that make sense that those would be like little websites just existing out? They're not bothering anybody. They're just flying by. But if you know where to look, there it is. All right, Arslonga baby, and then this is a thing from today. I don't know what it is, a blueskt. I will never pronounce that word. It's a post, on Blue Sky from the CEO who said, yeah, we love links because we just like the open web. That's a pretty reasonable thing. We're on there. Next slide. Well, so what happened? I really don't. Really, I don't. I was like, wow. I get it. The therapist was saying something was suppressed. Something is deeply suppressed. I left my home in Quebec City. And this is me leaving my home as a tiny baby bird, leaving home, just saying goodbye, and, leaving my parents behind who are, Russian literature professors. They talk in fake Cyrillic. We are sad, or she'aya sad, as you would pronounce it more accurately in Russian. And then this is me. This is how Emily, my girlfriend, that's how she found me. That's what I looked like. That was my predisposition. What happened to my life? What happened? And what happened to my server? I really, honestly, do not remember. I do remember that I started traveling. And I kind of traveled, and it looked like all of those pictures combined. And then I stayed at none of these places, but some sort of, I had to have a roof above my head. And what happened was this weird digital nomad web hosting life that I now had to, it kind of ruined me. And I have these bills from Heroku and Render. And it's and of course, don't Google, but there's lots of people who are like, wow, I just got a bill. That's just the strangest thing. You just wake up one day, you got a bill. These are also 2 screenshots. I'm not calling out anyone. However, there are places on the internet, if they tell you that to have a form on your website, you should give them $300 a year. That's kind of messed up. Today, we, on the Disco website, try to add a redirect from one URL to another. And it was a beautiful moment where we held hands and cried together because Framer told me I had to upgrade my plan to a pro plan. They're like, oh, you want a redirect. And it's not a big deal to redirect URLs. But on Framer, it's $40 a month. So I really got into the idea that I should be self-hosting. It's sort of, I kind of really made it a thing. I'm like, that should be my goal. For the record, I did my batch here a year ago, and at the beginning of my batch, your time is so extremely precious here. Really goes by fast. And so I thought, I'm either going to solve this in the first few days, or I'm going to pick a solution and not ever do that, because I want to work on websites. I don't want to work on the thing. And I went with Render. Render's great. They have really good things that they do. But every single website that I released was $20 a month. And I just, yeah, that's normal. That's how it is. Websites are $20 a month. That's just how life is. That's my adult life. And so we worked on Disco a little bit later. So enter Antoine. Okay, this is the only part that Antoine hasn't seen, so I hope he enjoyed it. And you too. This is how I see you. This is me. This is me when I see you. So Antoine is an amazing friend. He's an extraordinary person. He's very kind. He's very reasonable and a smart, people read about, 500 years, this person was really reasonable. That's how reasonable he is. He reasons. He engages with reason. He is an extraordinary, extraordinary engineer. Absolutely, truly, mind-bendingly fantastic. This is not a comparison. Everybody's here is great. I just have, when I spend time with him, I'm like, wow, that's so great. He's very kind with me. He speaks to me like using small, short words that I understand. And he just builds these incredible systems. And so at one point, we're like, we should do a thing together. And so then we wrote 60 pages that I'm blurring out, because they're not embarrassing, but I wrote a lot of weird things in there, where we were like about to launch a business. And it was like every single idea we had, 66 pages, you know that, right? In which, at some point, between fitness app ideas, which were not mine, obviously, you can see what I say. So Antoine writes this paragraph, which I'll let you see, but there's words in there. There's blue-green deployments and DigitalOcean with Docker swarms, secrets and repair reporting. He just wrote that out. I'm like, huh? And so then he like explained it to me using puppets and smaller words, and I got it. I literally got it. He meant websites, but simple. And I got it. It took him about a month. I got it at some point. Okay, so this is the part where we maybe show you something. So what's the minimum map? What's the MVP? What's the smallest one? What's the quickest and painliest? Activate demo man. Okay, let's try to make one website work, and you've seen me not being able to join a Zoom call, so no guarantees. Okay, should I go on my desktop? Should I go on my desktop? New site, yes. It just keeps going. Was Steve Jobs not around to tell them this makes no sense? Yeah, it'll just keep going. All right, now I gotta go back. Sorry. I think there's a way. There's like a way, right? There's like a preference. Oh, maybe if I open a new one. Yeah, there you go. Okay. No, okay. Okay, what did I call it? Like new. Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, what should we do? A Flask. Okay, so this is how I word. Okay, great. And I kind of do this. And I'm like, that looks Flasky enough, right? So then, yeah, this, and then, I don't know, server. Yep. Okay, that's good. No. That was not, don't try that at home. Don't try that at home. I know what I'm saying. All right, yeah, then there's always a magical bit. There's always a magical bit. I'm like, what is the magical bit? What is the magical bit? It's like app not run. I never have it. All right, app run flat. I mean, this is, this is how I do it. No, same page. Yeah, like it's a good sign when people have to ask. No, there's still not. There's like one line. There you go. Okay, this one. I don't need to commit it to memory. Boop. Okay, cool. This. Not the French keyboard. 80. Fantastic. Okay, so that's an app. That's a website. It's not PHP. It's close enough. It's pretty short. Okay. So then what do you need? What do you need to make a website? Well, you need just one file. That's not going to work. This will work. Yes, AI. Yes, AI. You need this. And so what is this? Well, this is a file that we call, nope, not, yep, nope, yes, no, yes. There you go. And then it should be colored. Beautiful. So, I didn't do much. I really just created two files. Stumbled my way into two files. This is a web server. This is a file that just says, hey there, hey, hello, can you hear me? I have a Python application. You should run requirements, which is a good reminder for me, because I did not do that. And then, Python requirements, it's like the cargo stuff. You all know this. I'll do this. And then I'll do this. And then, yes, a little bit less. And then, yeah, no, yes, nope. Yeah, no. I'm sure here people are screaming at all the inefficient ways of my youth. Okay, I made this mistake before. Let's make a git ignore, just so that the thing, yeah, that's a good enough name. I know it's a secret, forbidden name. No, the git ignore should not be in the git ignore. Is that a thing? No, that shouldn't, wow, let's not do that live. Live from New York. Okay, why would I even say that? Okay, and then use site, please work. Okay, great. Yeah, public, of course, always public. And then this is great. I usually just do this. That kind of worked. Great, so now I have things to commit. Don't look. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm trying to you're seeing it. Yes. Who needs commit messages. Sorry about that. Okay, so roughly speaking, I have a website. It exists, and there's Python code in it. There's a tiny bit of you have to tell it that it uses all these things, these requirements. It's Flask, and then Disco.json. That's all we ask for now. We ask you to tell us if you've also heard about build packs, or really any platform, Renderfly, all of them. They'll at some point they'll kind of whisper into your ear. They're like, oh, we're so cool. But they'll kind of have to, what are you exactly running? Python, Go, Rust. You kind of have to know what is the program that is executing your program. That kind of makes sense, right? So that's Python in our case, nothing too fancy. Pip install is the build, command is the command. I'm almost psychologically ready to try this. Okay, this is the thing that you might have not seen. I will both not talk about it, but use it. Don't mind me. I will do this. I should talk about what I'm doing. This is kind of rude if I tell you to not look. You should look. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, so this is a little bit not in the order I wanted to present. But let me tell you something kind of important. Disco, which I'm not sure if it was even clear by now, is a tool to help you deploy websites. You all got that. Us, bought a little tiny little Raspberry Pi that's over there under the cluster. And we made it a community server. And what's cool about that, I mean, if I'm pitching you one thing, I'm pitching you this, you can kind of put your sites on there. You really don't have to. But if you do, it's kind of easy. Obviously, you'd use Disco as a tool, but then we'll give you a domain name. It'll be free. It'll be hosted there. We'll do our best to keep it up. Don't put a thing that drives your, what is it called? The thing. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you're Pacemaker has a SAS that it needs to connect to every not the right approach, but AI SAS maker. Okay, so but for anything else of lesser importance, you can use this. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of and we'll go back to this because my slides are just not in the right order, but I'm just gonna deploy a thing there, really just to prove you that I didn't just come here to play Sun O parenthesis, which was the band that I played at the very initial point. So what am I doing now? Because I know you're kind of looking and it's good. I'm going to authorize this app, which is a GitHub app, to, what did I call it? Oh, that's never good. Yeah, remote. Oh, yeah, that's helpful. Great. Yeah, new site, please work. OK, new site. Yeah, great. So I'm just authorizing the GitHub app, which is on the Recurse little Raspberry Pi. I'm just giving it access to my repo. That's it. Now I'm going to use a web UI. That's the exciting bit. We'll come back to this as well. Build a new project. New site, please work. New site, please work.rc.disco. And then new site, please work is here. I think that's it. Yeah. And now we wait, but not for too long. So if no terrible error will happen in the next minute, we'll be deploying this website, and then at the very end, we should see an emoji. Sorry, I just have the Zoom toolbar in the way, so I'm just, yeah, there you go. OK, there's a little emoji thing. That's it. We go back to deployments. That looks pretty complete. We go to domains. Clickety-click. OK, cool. OK, yes. See? Yeah, thanks. That was for you. OK, see, Chrome has a limit. You'd think. OK, so now we kind of the cooking is not cooking yet, but the oven is on, right? So OK, so that's one thing we could do. And then we could, oh, I forgot to start my timer. This is not going to count against us. I'll just minimize this. OK, I'm not going to use it because it's a joke, and my clown teacher told me to not prepare jokes. This was a fake timer that initially showed the real timer and then slowed down and made the time 10 times less fast. And so I could come back to it and be, nah, I'm so funny. But now I'm not going to do it. And so exactly. OK, at push. So now, what time was it? OK, 7:39. We will go here. And then, oh, I should have looked at the seconds, obviously. This feels like, well, we could, look at it. This feels like, what would you say? Yeah, this is like a 10-ish, 15-second thing that I can't not fill with noise. There you go. OK. OK, so now, yeah, exactly. Yeah, woo, right? It worked. Right, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, OK, cool. So this is what we call, or I'm sure Antoine calls it Greg mode, but we call it easy mode. Because it's kind of the minimal, super minimal amount. I also didn't tell you an important fact is that we come from a Heroku kind of thinking. We were very Heroku-based, pilled, skibbitied. We are, big fans and used them a lot and deployed there. And of course, we don't mourn because it's still up, blah, blah, blah. But if you know a bit of Heroku, it's like, it just doesn't have that same shine and excitement that it had. But we miss it. And all the sites that I showed you, because it would have been a little bit, kind of like not tolerable, but I've deployed, I don't want to show it, but maybe I have like a folder of how could I show you a folder without showing you a folder? It's on my not desktop, and then, it needs to be like really, is that, okay, oh, that's cool. So that's my folder of websites. These are like my web projects. They're not terrible. They're not like find the best place to throw your battery. Oh, can you not? Wow, why are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Wait, what's going on? Oh my God, no, this is where? What window? Whose computer is that? No, I'm actually, wait, what is this? Is this me? This is so fascinating. Wait, and what happens if I go here? That's cool. Oh, it doesn't like the desktop. Oh, wait, and if I do this? Oh, but you can't see. Okay, this part was less rehearsed. It doesn't really matter. The point that I was trying to make, so but you can't see my terminal. Oh, okay, so you see it from time to time. I get it. Okay, it's all good. That explains the reaction. No, but so this, easy enough, simple enough, and really in my world of sites that I unfortunately couldn't show you, that's kind of all I'm asking for. Now I can make my website of restaurants that don't exist anymore. Now I can tell people, you just need a little website. You could have a little fun little, you don't need much. You just need a little file. Just go. You understand, right? Okay, that's cool. Now I'll get a tiny bit more. We'll do a little bit of a more thing, but it'll be a worth it doing it more thing. Okay, cool. So why, 20 seconds, is it annoying? Is it like life goes by, you need to, be on the edge, man? Is it sort of like, you're running out the door and you absolutely, need, that would be a Docker file. And do I need to? I'll just take this one. Yeah, so I'm replacing the disco.json with a little bit less stuff. That's cool. And I'm putting in a Docker file, which is a little bit more, which is not cool. The thing with Docker is that it's interesting. And I cannot be not telling you that I find it kind of like, oh, okay, it's a thing. Which, brought me to this both understanding that it's a thing and it's so smart. And actually, spoiler alert, Disco's built completely on top of Docker. But this is the good, Antoine Greg dynamic, I think, stop me if I'm wrong, is that I sort of could exist in a world where it still sort of scares me, and I kind of use it, and I kind of get it. But I'm not the best. Don't come to me with Docker questions. But I know, because we have a lot of examples, and at the end, once you start staring at it a little bit, you kind of get it a little bit. You're like, okay, I kind of get it. It's still the same image. We kind of did that. There's more stuff here, but it's fine. And again, I'm speaking from perspective who is not good. If anybody here is like, oh my God, this is Docker 101, you should have just read the tutorial. You're right, I didn't. And so then again, this is just this thing. Okay, so I should save this, and then I should do this. Yeah, cool. Does anybody, I'm just going to boast, does anybody do this? Do we not see, what? Yeah, what's happening? No, that's so scary. Did I not share my screen? Well, now you see it. Scary ghosts. Scary ghosts. Yeah, does anybody do this? Git add patch. Is that a thing? Cool. It's a fun thing. Everybody here is so smart. Yeah, so I love it. But also I'm going to do a git add push. Okay, great. So it's the combo. It's the ice cream and the steak. Okay, great. That makes no sense. Okay, new site. It should be here. Yeah, there we go. It should be deployed. Okay, now something is going to happen, which is I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go back here. That's still here. Now something's going to happen in that I will come here and then write more stuff. I'm going to save. I'm going to do this. And now we will only wait less seconds. Yeah. So it got a little bit faster. It's actually quite fast. Look, it is a little website. This is not a fair demo in the sense that we're not deploying a huge thing, which it would still be kind of fast at. I understand this is a toy project, but there is also a joy, you will agree, in making a little small thing and then not having in front of you long minutes of anguish and of thinking what happened, or even just wanting to change Hello World to whatever this is. You want that thing to be ad pushed. You're not writing commit messages. You are me. You need this in your life. So, of course, the technical explanation, I'm sure some understood, but I need to not just talk to the people who understand things because this is new even to me, and I'm confused by this, but then Antoine explained it. There's a bit of magic in Docker where it just figures out you probably don't always want to rebuild your requirements every single time. And so smartly, this bit, with the comment from me, of course, to myself, just says, hey, why don't you do the requirement stuff and then generate whatever files you need, and then it's sort of like an onion, right? Where as long as it's okay to laugh, as long as the requirements don't change, that onion is exactly the same, hashing, etc. So just reuse that part of the Docker file system, and then it will kind of keep going in your file. And of course, at some point, it will hit a line that goes, hey, I also have this code that I'd love for you to run. And at that point, it goes, oh, this is new code. Well, now I'll take you seriously. But it can sort of ignore you previously, and because of that, be a lot faster. That's cool. Okay, let me make another demo. Nope, it's already activated, which is a static site. And so this is, for the folks out there who have static sites, it happens to be quite in vogue. For good reason. Static sites are so simple. You don't even need to write code. It's just like HTML and files, just like a CDN energy. So yeah, let's call that CDN energy, actually. And AI would be great for that. Just like a silly, okay, let's use it. Okay. Just say something. Yeah, scream words, yeah. Make a web page, what is it? You make it bigger. I'm so sorry, maybe one at a time, sorry. Whoever's has the, make it, oh, sorry, is this not, okay, well that's, yeah, okay, okay, well it's fun. Yeah, okay, so make a web page about making web pages bigger. Would that be a thing? This is great. All absolutely chill, don't need much. Yeah, that's great. A little guide about how to browse them. That's great. That's great. I'm always talking, but no, that's enough. Okay, great. So then, okay, let's just copy this, and then let's just save this. All right, so that's a file. Let's go back to our here. Yeah, now we need a disco.json, which is quite short. And it just says, hey, you're deploying a website. The type is static. It used to be web, you might remember. Now it's just called static. And I do need to make a directory. I know that, called dist. Just put your stuff there. That makes sense if you npm build or vit or what have you. So that makes sense. Am I missing anything? No, I'm not. That's fantastic. So, oh, I know what I'll do this time. So this time, I will also create a repo, which some people know what the URL is. Is it that? Oh, wow. That's cool. /new. CDN energy. Sing a song. Wow, this, I swear I'm not Googling. I think my bank statement is going to appear from, what are we? This is, yeah, let's reshare. Wow, notchase.com. Notchase.com. It's nothing terrible. It's just, Okay, stop sharing. Goodbye. Oh, my hair, my God. No one said anything. Share. Is this better? Okay. Yes, thank you. Faintest tool. Wow, people are ready to hit the snacks again. Okay, okay, that's good. Yeah, and 10 minutes left. I totally get it. Okay, git. Okay, yeah, that's great. Okay, speed run. Okay, now we'll use the command line because that's a thing. Yeah. Oh no, that won't work. Just for a very specific reason that is only happening to my user. Don't worry. You, 4 times, no, you won't get that problem. CDN energy, save. That's great. Yeah, now I can do this. Okay, so we also have a command line. Project add, name, CDN energy, domain, CDN energy. .rc disco, GitHub, and then what? Admit? Yes, of course. So somebody came into the, no worries at all. That might be this. Let's try. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. What was it? Yes. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Hey. Yeah, we agree. Make it bigger, man. Okay. This. What? What did I do? Title? Oh, it's the title. Wow, you are absolutely very smart people. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's a secure password. What do you want? Wow, that's not the first time this has. Come on. Yes. Yes. Right? Yes. Yes. Sono. Yes. 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 This is like, yes. 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 Command V. Yes. This might take longer because it's more text. No, it takes just as long. Okay. That was fast. Okay, I'm going to skip where I make a website called 5 Checkboxes. Yeah, I started a little late. No, you're too kind. No, I still have like 80 slides. So I have a website, a real-time website that's 20 lines long. It's 5 checkboxes. I make so many jokes not about Nolan, but with Nolan. We seriously don't have time. There's another website called Clownify. Come to me. It like adds pictures of clowns. And then I'm going to burn all my punches. I was supposed to change, because it's, anybody can edit Wikipedia, is what I've heard. So, like, this picture's just out there. It's just, like, out there, It's like you click edit, and it's it literally, like, what if it wasn't this picture? Love you, Nolan. Love you. Okay, contact form. Again, Tally. I don't understand why it costs so much to have a thing. I blog about this. Where is it? Waterloo. Yeah, at some point I just wanted a contact form on my thing. I go into detail, don't do, it's hard. I'm telling you one thing, it's hard to add a box on your email, on your website to capture people's emails. And you would think, my God, that should be so simple. And today people are Googling it and then $300 goes to Tally. I'm not angry. It's just, might use it for something else. And if we're still on track, technical information, I'll go really quickly. We have a command line. You saw it. It does a ton of things, of course. The web UI, you kind of saw. It's being introduced. It's its ball debut. We worked on it a lot. It does less things than the command line. The command line does kind of everything. It still does things as you saw. We saw deployments. You can change a lot of things. That's the UI. Next slide. How does this go work? Antoine, I'm so sorry we can't bring you up. I would love to. You initialize the service. So, of course, the part that we didn't have to do, and that's kind of the point of having a Raspberry Pi, you just run disco init, you pass it your SSH command, it installs Docker, it installs a daemon, which is also Docker image, it starts it, and then never SSHs back again, ever, and you don't have to either. Talks over an API, HTTPS, you've heard of that. Command line things, and the GitHub app that you've seen me interact with, it's all self-hosted. We don't host it, we don't want it, it's yours. I'm not done. We also offer scaling. There's a thing about like a Docker swarm, which again, I thought, oh yeah, I did a Docker swarm thing. I'm like, good for you. But I'm like, I didn't understand this was the most, this is never, wow, that will not enter my brain. I know it, like, this is not how people read. They stop and they interact with the material. But at my level of attention, not happening. But Antoine just did it. He just added some. He's like, hey, Greg, yo. Talk about that. He's like, you can have now 3 Raspberry Pis, and you can add them with Disco in it, and then we have a thing. It just goes to everything. And that seemed incredibly cool, because you do that with Heroku and Render. Now you can do it with Disco. We offer scaling, huh? And obviously, I will not have time to talk about you Raspberry Pis. Not only, okay, that's a Raspberry Pi, cool, but one you can have at home. I have a slide, we'll get to it. You can invite people. You can all collaborate. You can have a log. So many things. Okay, Raspberry Pis. Okay, this is the one thing, okay? Like a plant, you can have a little Raspberry Pi in your home. It can have all the websites, and it's just on. And now we have one at home, and it's very nice. And my restaurants in Peace, it's under our little, there you go. What's it called? Cabinet? It's not a cabinet. No, it's the drawer. We put our, we put our clothes. Dresser, there you go. Thank you. Okay. I kind of wanted to make sure that I want to debut a new thing. Yeah, if you don't mind. Okay. So Emily and I, if you can, sorry about this. It had to be in the spotlight. This is the skit portion of the talk. Emily and I came up with a new, spotlight. Yeah. We were, what's the name of the place? Do you remember the restaurant name? Lower Line, great place. Is it like Washington? On Washington. Yeah, it's great. Just go there. It's fantastic food. It's great. And we're just talking, yapping, and you come up with the idea. I take a little bit of credit. I call it the grammar, but it's you come up with the idea of like, why do people always kiss left to right? Let's demonstrate just so people know what we're talking about. Left to right. Right. Okay, that's one direction. What about up, down. So much. I feel somewhat strongly about this. I think it's a completely reasonable way to greet. And, okay, and so, you kind of already probably believe that we can make website. Yeah, well, this is a GIF. That's weird. No, this is me showing this to Justin and recoiling. Justin recoiling. And it was great. You can see the horror. Yeah, hits him. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. We were trying to. Yeah. The what? Did you? Yeah. You're just seeing a different presentation. It's just like we're just operating at different. Can I show you a slide? Let me go back to Zoom. I'll never change applications again. I promise. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's application before the one that I use right now. That makes sense. Okay. Great. I'm not making a website. That doesn't matter. Okay. We have 4 minutes left, so that's fantastic. Okay. Disco.recurs.com. That's great. It's a server. You can use it. If you log in, it's going to ask you for your OAuth. Hey, you're not all, but many part of Recurs. You can log in. If you're not Recurs, that's fine too. You can get a machine and a VPS. I'm getting to that in the next slide. No, not yet. Did I get that at any point? Oh yeah, later. So this is the very small. This is below the dresser. That's my Raspberry Pi with my crazy website. And then I don't know. Once you have a Raspberry Pi, it's just fun to add stuff. So I also add this, which transmit at the exact FCC limit and not above. A radio station where Emily has a show. The show is great. It's Disco Bog. You should listen. It's just crazy good. And then so it actually goes to our little radio alarm, and then we wake up not to her show, but to music, because her show is at night, and it would make sense if she was there. Okay. So then soothing music. This is not disco specific. We're not about like FM transmission levels or anything, but it's a thing. Then I have a slide. Right. This was more problematic. I was really bored, and I was like, I should make a thing to really demonstrate the power of disco. And so I was like, well, what do I need for disco? I need a Raspberry Pi, and then, well, a battery would be great. Oh, then I'm kind of like just mobile. And then, if I have a webcam, this thing can just take pictures and have a little eye on the world. And then, of course, it also needed like a support, so I added a shoe. I called it Jean-Pierre, no reason. And then, this is really only like an old school trick that I wanted to kind of demonstrate. Yeah, if you get it just right, which I know you get, it's not a, yeah, there you go. So now, no, still not perfect. Yeah, you know how it is, it's like 1 pixel, right? Nope, you see, it's funny, right? And you kind of understand how, yeah, no, and the Mac OS is, nope. Wow, this is what I'm spending time on. Okay, stable enough. Okay, so yeah, so I go to whatever Walgreens. I go to Subway. There you go, and then I go to Washington Square Park. Then I eat. I'm sorry about these people. I didn't mean to film them. I go back to the Subway. I have a pizza late night. Take an Uber home. There you go, and then I'm Recurs. Yeah, and there's actually a presentation. So I filmed just a bunch of people. I'm sorry, and I just talk. It's don't look at yourself talk or code. It looks really just focus on the poster. Hi Wolf. Blah blah. And then yeah, for some reason it ended up underneath. That's not bad. You can do that with Disco. You don't have to. Okay, what are the most important things? Disco.recurs.com. That's really great. You can use it. It's great. Hetzner, DigitalOcean, Amazon EC2. You just need a computer. You do Disco in it. You can deploy sites just like we did. Works on Raspberry Pi. Don't give your money to Salesforce. They don't need it. You understand why? I mean, there's no reason. They just don't need it. Salesforce owns Heroku. Works for personal projects. It does work for work. I just admitted to my colleagues. I have 2 colleagues here in the audience. One who's a recursor and the other, I hope, will become one. Hi, David. I actually use it to work. I mean, not kind of secretly in a way that will, like, wow, this is filmed. In no way will endanger our SOC 2 compliance, obviously. Wow. Out loud, just like, wow, the body officer. But it's really fast to deploy stuff. And I mean, we have like the smartest person who does this thing, but I need a little, yeah. I don't do anything on there. They know about it. Don't worry. Okay, great. All these people who I love, who I adore, who are you? These are all the people. I, of course, am missing like 1,000 people who all have. I can't pronounce all. It's just everybody's here. Mia might be watching. Mia, thank you so much. Mia is a recursor from this batch who we met because of a Twitter stupid post that I did about Disco. Came on our Discord. We talked, and then she came to Recurs. It's her first time in New York. I'm so happy. And everybody here, like, I have the same emotion. So I'm so glad. I think I have a, yes, there you go. Oh yeah, the last word is to Eric, who got a job thanks to Disco, because he deployed a thing and yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make it, folks. I'm gonna make it. 5 seconds. You all, folks, are crazy, and we adore you, and we love you so much. The Recurs staff is why Recurs works, obviously, and is. That's us. Goodbye. You don't have, please don't do that. Don't do that. That's too much. I'm sorry. Shut. Don't look away. No. You're too kind. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, so we have stickers. We've printed them. They're free. They're for you. You don't have to. I think the feed stops now. Is that reasonable? No, you might make a feed of multiple hours. Yeah, yeah. Questions, and it's okay. I'll come down. Oh, this is nice. Yes, I will repeat the question if there are any, and no pressure to have ask questions. Yes, please.
Are all those websites listed somewhere that you showed earlier?
The slides will be, unfortunately, public. So I'm committing to this. But thank you for the question. Are the slides? Are the websites going to be? Okay. Just repeating the questions. Anybody? Don't feel pressure. I'm not asking you to not ask questions, but like, I gotta come. Don't do that. It's all good. Just chill. This is chill. I'm wearing this. Oh, money. Okay. Yes, please. Yes, please.
What was your favorite rabbit hole you went down working on this project?
That would be for you. What was the favorite rabbit hole? Antoine, sorry. Was the swarm thing kind of crazy? The network of the nodes? Yeah.
I guess I can answer.
Oh my God, yes!
Thank you. So I don't have like a good answer, I guess, but like there's always like a bunch of edge cases that we always like discover. Like when we init the thing like with SSH, like there's huge weird things like just finding the right SSH key to use. Like it should be simple to just like use the one that is used by default, but like it's not, like it's complicated. Yeah. I guess it's an example.
Yeah, it's a great example. So yeah, so disco init really just goes, it SSHs itself, and at some point it runs these commands, right? It runs these commands. Just a bunch of commands. It's like we're just trying to do one thing. We're trying to SSH into the machine, run a bunch of commands, and we're out of there. You would think it would not be 300 lines long to get there. And so, we've learned the beautiful variety of the number of ways that people store private keys, don't store private keys, don't have private keys, have SSH agents, don't have SSH, are on Windows but in the Linuxy way, are on Mac, hide their keys, etc. So just this, case after case after case, and exactly, it's like, but that was supposed to be the simple part. That doesn't even do anything about deploying and logs, and that's a great answer. I hope, is that, yes, thank you. More questions? Well, now it's great. Yes, please. Yes, I'm. Oh, sorry.
So you run the RC disco that's on the Raspberry Pi.
Yes.
Does that like break, explode, or like do you have to keep fixing that, or what did you do that makes it explode?
Yeah.
Does it just run forever and no problems?
Yeah. So Max obviously is not a plant for me showing this. Yes, the question, great question. Thank you for asking me to. So first of all, I was asked to repeat the question. The question is whether we've had to do a lot of maintenance on the Raspberry Pi of the Disco. Yeah, so I'm very proud. The uptime is 190 days. We haven't restarted. Okay, what does that tell us? Not much. It also isn't consuming that much memory. That's fun. That's still not your question. I think the answer is we haven't had to. There's a way to deploy Disco projects where we're debugging this and whatever, but like sometimes the deployment will sort of stall, and we're kind of like, oh, come on, and we're kind of kicking it. It just won't, and we don't have the perfect tools right now to just like stop and restart. There's just like a little bit of few utilities about these like rare cases. When that happens, I like SSH in and I like go into the SQLite and I change like a flag. I'm like, no, you're good, you're dead. Like the deployment, instead of thinking it's still deploying, we're not doing that. But that's at a very like Disco high level, right? On the OS level, definitely nothing. Which also, by the way, this is a good point, kind of begs the question. So wait, you're not putting in your Ubuntu updates? Your system's not up to date? Those are good questions. I don't have a great answer for them. Do you have an answer for them? I know you have good answers for those kinds of things. Yeah. Oh, yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and also this Disco, this OS is not updated that much, I think. But
because it's stable. It's the LTS of Ubuntu.
Yeah, it's the LTS. So I guess maybe the updates run in the background. I don't even know. But
that's interesting.
yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah. So you do have a server. It's a little bit, the convenience of Paint Heroku and Render, of course, for all my crying about it. You kind of never think about this thing. Here, we're sort of like betting on you might not have to think about it long enough. That's one way of thinking about it. What's another way of thinking about it?
Well, I guess. I mean, like, because all the applications run in Docker, like, you saw, like, that it shows specifically the Python version of, like, 3.12.3. So, and it's up to the application to define the environment in which they live or they are deployed in. So you don't need as much to update the OS. So, like, you could run an old version of Python or a new version of Python, and you still run on Ubuntu 24.04. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But thank you. I'll just move on to another question. Just so. But yeah, thank you so much. Yes, please, 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 please. Three questions. Thank you so much. Disco, we also have a 60-page document with names. It's stuck. It's stuck. Disco. It just stuck. Good enough. And also, you probably have a better explanation. Your show is called Disco Bog, and I met you 3 years before. So it's like, you know, it's just lesser. Yeah, I might have just stolen a really good name from Emily for a thing. In a year? Great question. I think it would be great. There are other open source projects. You might have heard of Doku. You might have heard of, yeah, there's a bunch of them. I mean, we kind of have a list, but there's a bunch of people who are like in this space, and it's great. More people, more space, more everything. They have more. What? 1 second? Oh, that's scary. Hello. Voice from the future. It was the ravenous dogs. You were right. Yeah, so I think in a year, more users would be great. From a, like, you know, don't you kind of want that little open source community of friends and people? A community is nice. Another community would be great as well. More communities. So I think that would be great. And if it's not that, we'll still use it for our own projects, and that will still be great. Thank you. More questions, but you don't have to, but I'd be happy to. Yes, please. Maybe the last one so that everybody doesn't feel trapped and kidnapped. Yes, please.
How many times did you rehearse this talk?
How many times did I rehearse this talk? I tried to tell you, but it wouldn't let me. Thank you so much. Thank you for the questions. Love you all enormously. The best. The best is you. This is just, thank you so much, really.